When should you stop buying gold? Hey, I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy in a bucket talking about precious metals. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, get the bell notification clicked, and that way you get updated with any new content. When should you stop buying gold? So this is a question that I have also received, especially after a video that I posted as to how much gold you should have. But when should you actually stop? When is enough enough? Silver, in my opinion, it's a little bit easier for me anyway to answer that question, in that silver is a lot more cumbersome. Let me move this over to the side. Silver is a lot more cumbersome, takes up a lot more space, right? Once you start accumulating a significant amount, it becomes a storage problem, and it becomes a lot heavier, more of a pain in the neck to transport. I know of some people that had a couple of issues in emergencies where they actually had to leave their apartment due to a fire, and they had to do a couple different trips up and down the stairs because they needed to get all of their silver out. And that, to me, is an exact reason as to why I decided to sell off a lot of my silver and started to kind of stack that same amount of wealth in gold. It's a lot easier to just move with a couple of tubes like this with gold than dozens and dozens of tubes and bars and what have you. So when should you stop buying gold? Well, in my opinion, I don't think that you should really stop buying gold. I think that you should continue to buy gold and stack gold as much as possible. But when is it enough? I guess you kind of have to ask yourself that question as to when do you feel comfortable? When do you think you will actually be able to lie down and put your head down at night and feel like a sense of relief that you have enough money stored away in precious metals? You know that you have that nest egg or that savings account that's just kind of sitting there waiting for you, and you're all taken care of. If you were to lose your job, or if your spouse was to lose your job, or something, God forbid, were to happen along those lines, do you have enough money socked away, whether it be in cash or physical gold, to kind of hold you over for those 3 to 6 months, maybe even longer? Some people also look at this as a part of their retirement, right? As a supplemental portion of their retirement. I know I do. Not only do I like to collect it because it's flippin' awesome and it looks real pretty and I can see progress, but I do like to keep in mind that this is going to be something that I will use when I retire. I will be selling off some of this little by little, so I have that little extra income. God forbid if something were to happen to me or to my wife, then this is something that would be left behind to my children. But is there a time in which you should stop buying gold? I think that once you hit a certain goal that you set aside for yourself, then you reevaluate. So for example, originally I purchased gold back in 2008. I purchased 4 ounces because we were on the verge of the recession. People were starting to talk about you should be owning physical gold, and you see these old people reading pamphlets in the commercials and they're like, you should buy gold. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll buy gold. And I bought 4 ounces and then I left it alone. And I figured, okay, I did what I needed to do. I bought my gold. I'm all set. But 10 years later, I kind of went on YouTube and kind of went down the rabbit hole there, and I was looking at all of the different videos on stacking, and it definitely has a way of kind of hypnotizing you and pulling you in, and that's kind of what happened to me. So I set a goal for myself of 10 ounces, and I hit that goal actually in January. I decided to set the goal for hitting 20 ounces by the end of 2020. So I went into January at around 8.5 ounces, and I decided that I would try to stack at least 12 ounces by the end of 2020. I was able to do like 14.5, 15 ounces since then, and we still haven't ended the year. I will probably be buying more, but I did accomplish that goal. So now that I hit the goal of 20 ounces, I am probably going to set a new goal for myself of another 10-ounce increment. And maybe I'll try to set that 10-ounce goal by the end of 2021. That is probably going to be my next goal. And if you keep setting yourself these different benchmarks, you will probably find it to be a lot more manageable or easier to do, as opposed to saying, oh my God, I don't have any. What am I going to do? I do tell people that they need to diversify their stacks. A lot of people are really kind of hung up on silver. They say, oh, silver has much more of a upside than gold. However, in my opinion, you don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket. And I do believe that you should own both silver and gold. And I think that if you don't own any gold yet, you want to kind of get moving now, because all experts and analysts are pointing to gold rising. And if you look at the trajectory and the historical prices of gold, you actually do see that is the general trend, that gold tends to move upward, whereas silver, it's volatile. It's going to bounce up and down like this. But gold is a lot more steady. And so for me personally, I do own silver. I look at silver as more of a kind of like a speculative metal. I like to buy more high premium stuff and I like to flip it for profits. Whereas gold is my true long-term hold, store of wealth. So you're going to want to set yourself up a goal of at least an ounce. And I know that might seem like a lot, but you really need to consider doing that now. And if you can't buy a 1 ounce gold coin right off the bat, then you want to maybe get yourself, something like a 1/4 ounce or even a 1/10 ounce. The benefit for you trying to hold out or slap some money together and buying this 1 ounce coin is that you're going to save yourself a considerable amount of money in premiums. If you were to buy 10th ounce gold coins, it would cost you probably an extra couple $100 than it would if you were to just buy this 1 ounce gold coin. That's a challenge to do, though. It's hard for people to kind of put together, right now where we're sitting a little over $2,000 for a 1 ounce coin. So maybe getting a 1/4 ounce, in my opinion, 1/4 ounces seem to be a nice sweet spot, because yes, you do have a premium on them, but it's a lot easier to go and save $500 and change for a 1/4 ounce than it is for something like a 1 ounce or even a 1/2 ounce. A 1/2 ounce can run you somewhere of like a little over $1,000 right now. So consider buying 1/4 ounce increments. I've done other videos talking about which size fractional gold should you buy, and I do the whole cost breakdown and analysis. And in my opinion, I do find that the 1/4 ounces seem to be the most manageable for many people within the stacking community. I know other people would agree also, and I do believe that, again, if you aren't stacking gold already, you definitely need to be doing so. The other thing too that you want to consider when you're buying gold is diversifying your gold stack, much like people do with their silver stack, right? A lot of silver stackers, they'll have 90% silver, such as Peace dollars and Morgan dollars, constitutional silver like the Roosevelt dimes and what have you. But they'll also have the bullion grade Eagles, right? The 999 pure bullion. But you want to also do the same sort of thing with your gold. So what you see here are various types of gold coins. I do have some foreign gold. This is a coin that is almost a 1/2 ounce of gold right here. This is an Austrian ducat. What is it? I forget the amount. What is it? 4 ducat. Then you also have, the Canadian maple leafs. And I have this Britannia here. I did at one point have some other foreign coins. I had a couple of Krugerrands and some British sovereigns and what have you. And I talked about the value of having foreign gold because it's a price point that's a little bit more reachable and achievable for most people. Oh, I forgot. I've got this right here, the 50 pesos. Look at this coin. This is 1.2 and change right there, ounces. This is a heavy, heavy coin. But you want to diversify. So you want to have some foreign gold. And in my opinion, if you're here in the United States, when it comes to foreign gold, my recommendation would be to get the maple leafs. The reason being is that these tend to hold their value a little bit more here in the States. They're easier to sell, and you're going to get a little bit more for these, whereas if you go to a coin shop, they're probably going to offer you a little bit less for, let's say, a sovereign or a 20 franc rooster coin, because the reason is that when they go to resell it, there's not a lot of people that know about foreign gold. It's a little bit harder for them to sell it. Whereas a lot of people, they know, at least here in the States, what American gold eagles are. Not everybody, but a lot of people that are getting into stacking know what American gold eagles are. So the Canadian maple leafs, these are relatively popular. The other thing, too, that you want to consider is that these are 4/9 fine pure, right? These are 4/9 pure gold. Whereas a gold eagle is like 91%. It's 0.9167 or something along those lines. So while this does have 1 ounce of gold weight in it, it's mixed with like copper, whereas this is 4/9 fine. The other thing you want to consider too are possibly buffaloes. Why is that? Buffaloes, while they do command a little bit of a higher premium on them, these are 24 karat. They are softer. They are not like these 1 ounce American gold eagles. These are not pure, whereas this is pure, and it's 24 karat gold. These are beautiful. They do cost a little bit more. Some local coin shops by you, though, may only charge you a little bit more of a premium on these than they would a 1 ounce gold coin. So if that's the case, my opinion, my suggestion would be for you to kind of pay a little bit more in that premium and get yourself a buffalo if you can. The other thing you also want to consider are these. These are pre-1933 gold coins. Pre-1933 basically means gold coins that were struck before 1933, because what happened was you had that Gold Act that a lot of people discuss, where FDR put into place, where gold was basically not necessarily illegal, but it was illegal for you to own more than a certain amount. So a lot of people did, keep the gold hidden away, but other people did redeem it because they felt like it was their patriotic duty, that they needed to do so. The gold was purchased off of them. You were allowed to, I believe, have I think 4 ounces of gold, or 1 ounce per family member. I forget what the exact rules were, but the pre-33 gold, what's nice about it is that, number one, they contain 90% gold. The other thing is that they have that numismatic value. Okay, so these, these aren't being made anymore. That's it. There's only a certain amount of these available on the planet. So anything that is struck after, right now, present day, with these designs, that's just gold rounds or restrikes. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. But these have that numismatic value. So you want to also consider buying some pre-33 gold. Plus, they're beautiful. I mean, it's just the historic nature of them. They're just really pretty coins to own. So you want to consider, if you are buying gold, you want to consider kind of diversifying within your gold stack, because within gold, each of these coins kind of play a different role. They have like a little bit of a different hedge against one another. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. I really do believe you should be stacking gold. Is there a set amount that you should have before you stop buying gold? It's entirely up to you, but I do think that you should be buying it if you don't have any. And I just want to quickly thank these elite channel supporters, and if you haven't become a channel member, please check out the awesome perks and join today. With that, I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. Check out these videos. Until next time, long live the Empire.